So we're recording now?
Hi, this is Elizabeth Clare Brewington, and I am with Discover Brightside, where we discover new people. And today we are so excited to introduce you to a producer, a filmmaker, an author, and a multifaceted guy. I was having a brief conversation in the studio just before I brought him on, and his name is Kevin Allison. And he has an amazing book, guys, and you're going to hear a lot about this. And it's a novel, but I think it's like a comic book because it has fantastic illustrations. And we'll make sure that there's a video for you to watch after this interview. And it's called Gladiator Boats. So here we have Kevin. Tell us about yourself. And we also want to congratulate him on being the 2024 Brightside Empirical Review virtual award recipient. So, congratulations on your win. Your book was outstanding. It stood apart from all the other books that we reviewed, and we just had to give it to you. So, we'll see you on the 16th to present it. But welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you for that, and I'm totally blown away by the award. I didn't know that it was a competition or anything, but just to have that award means a lot to me. It shows me that all my hard work is appreciated by people who really know what they like and have a lot of working knowledge on different types of books and different types of subject matter. And for this book to get that award just solidifies that what I'm doing is something right. I'm going in the right direction, and I will definitely cherish this award. It's my first award for the book, so it's probably the most valuable award that I have. It's the
That's
only one I have. So,
That's awesome. And
but
we're going to spend some
thank you.
time and get dive into this fantastic book. So first of all, my husband is a preacher and he'll join us as part two of the interview. But
Okay.
he used to preach a lot about the giants are coming. And we are
Oh
to
wow.
produce a book about AI is coming. So I
Oh
thought this was
man.
just fell in our lap because it's kind
Yeah.
of a topic we've been thinking a lot about. A man who hates technology becomes a gladiator. And then my biggest question is the end, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So
Okay.
tell me, how did Gladiator Boats begin? What was the motivation and what awesome characters? And we'll go into them later. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was writing screenplays. I was self-taught, and I decided to take a formal class and join UCLA's professional screenwriting um program. And one of our assignments was to write a movie, a script. And normally I produce micro budgeted films, so I would write at a very low budget, I guess, techniques like, simple cast, few scenes. And I felt really restricted. So when they gave us this assignment, I felt emancipated and free to write how I felt. And, there's no budget, so I could just write the biggest explosions
Yes.
and whatever. So I decided to make this topic about something that would take place in the future. And two of my favorite movies are RoboCop and one is Gladiator. So I decided to mash it up. And from mashing it up, I wanted to take it to a higher concept. So that's where you get the idea of the body part exchanging the human parts for mechanical parts. So we did that in school, and went over really well. And the next thing you know, I entered it in a few competitions. It was just a screenplay, and it did really well in a few competitions. And a few judges were telling me, "Hey, it didn't win this competition, but you still should make it a movie." So since I didn't have $100 million to make it a movie, I decided to do research. And what I discovered was that a lot of screenplays are converted into graphic novels, which is way more inexpensive than $100 million budget. And then from there, it's easier to find a producer or someone who could see the vision because they're all pictures, and they can say, okay, well, we can make this a movie.
Yeah.
And I think over 80% of the action films started off as graphic novels, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Road to Perdition, and you just name it, you just get all these stories that you may have seen at the theaters, but they started off as graphic novels. So that started me off to make it into a graphic novel.
Yeah, I love it. And the characters are just so excited. So Jericho, and then you have the princess, and it's just everything for a movie plot for sure. And you can
Yeah,
definitely see your screenplay style, which is just so graphic and so detailed. So yes, so tell me a little
absolutely.
bit about these characters, and they've been with you for some time because you've and did you think about Gladiator being released as a movie? Did the timing of your book come coincidentally, or did you time it?
Well, you know what? I didn't know. I got blindsided because when he brought out Gladiator 2, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so this franchise is going to continue on because I thought it was over, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it makes perfect sense. It's a great idea. He can just continue to make these gladiators one, two, three, and four.
Mhm.
And no, I wasn't expecting for him to re-release that, but I think it does great for what I've done
Yeah, it's great
because
timing. Yes.
yeah, and you can see that there's a lot of room for other stories. Like I do have a sequel for
Mhm,
this one,
mhm.
and I'll be writing it up and turning it into a graphic novel. But the sequel, in my opinion, is way better than the origin story, because we're doing some things in there that have never been seen or done before,
Yeah.
as far as like storyline. So, um, yeah, Jericho came about. I wanted to make a character who was like a fish out of water,
Hmm.
so he lives in the future, but he hates technology. He's in love. This story is a love triangle, and his love interest is stolen. And the only way he can get her back is to fight these huge, incredible, strong, metallic robots.
Yep.
And the caveat is he's not supposed to win. And when he does win, it makes everyone angry and upset, the powers that be, and they want to do something really bad to him to embarrass him and to take his morale away. So they said, hey, every time you win, you have to exchange one of your body parts for one of your vanquished opponent's mechanical parts. So slowly he becomes something he loathes and he hates, and that's technology.
And then I won't tell the audience the ending because we want them to buy the book. But I was really surprised at what he becomes. But I guess there's so many Alfred Hitchcock style movies, where people just convert into something else. And I think that is a big part of the story, right? As he gets more and more transformed into a mechanical
Yes,
superhuman being,
yes,
he also changes. And then, of
yes,
course, as they say, when you face the devil so many times, then you get the influence as well.
yeah.
But I think this is amazing. And I'm looking forward to working more with you. In January as well, when we do our book conference. Um,
Okay.
and I would love for you to do a screenplay, workshop with the book, and that way we
Oh
can
yeah, that'd be great.
sell copies of the book as well. And
Yeah,
so I would love to introduce so much about the book. And Gladiator is in season. Everyone's talking about it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
time for this book to be out for the Christmas holiday season. And not just for African Americans, because you are an African American author, but this would make a great gift for everyone, I think. And I think I love the colors and the graphics by Nino. Just amazing,
Yeah.
outstanding. Yeah.
So a little bit more about the book with Nino. I'm glad you mentioned him. He's from the Philippines,
Okay.
and he did all of the artwork on the inside of the book. And the cover page is done by a guy named Alan Kwa, who's from Singapore. And then the other book covers for the series that we had, we included them into the book because we thought it'd be a great gift for people who, when they bought the book, they could see the other
Yeah.
stylizations
Yeah.
of the character, the lead character. The guy who did that, he's from Brazil.
Mm,
So we have like an international, collaboration of sorts,
I can
uh, bring
tell.
this thing to life.
And that helps, when you have different designers design, it becomes
Yeah,
international character as
Oh
you
yeah,
become. I mean, the colors are so vibrant and everything is really graphic and very well designed. So yeah. So where
yeah.
now? So this book, how are you marketing the book? What's been good and what's been not so good?
Well, so I went to the book fair in Frankfurt, Germany,
Okay.
and we launched there. I think it was a couple of months ago, and that's like the largest book fair in the world. There's over 200,000 people who attend, and we had an absolute ball because all of our books we were depleted of all of our books. We had lines of people, and I signed a lot of autographs, and I met a lot of people out there, publishers, filmmakers, and whatnot. And we came back to the States, and now we're set up to do another book fair. It's at UCLA. It's the second largest book fair in the world. I've done LA Comic Con. I'm set up to do the New York Comic Con, and then there's a Blur Con that I have to apply for. It's in DC, and that's one of the largest African American produced comic cons in America. So those are the marketing things that I'm doing. I'm doing interviews with great platforms like yourself and other platforms, and yeah, we're
Well, let
just
us know
letting
when
people
you're
know.
in DC because we're in North Carolina. Maybe we could meet up or something,
That'd be great.
or bring you to North Carolina for an extra, book signing or something.
I
So
would love it.
that would be great. Yeah. So yeah, so there's also the comic, the whole, they have like all over the country. They have the comic convention that
Everywhere.
yeah, so that's another one. That's awesome. And I can just think about, costumes for kids and, this is pretty awesome. Um, so I guess for you, collaborations and partnerships are going to play a big role because you're going to have to partner with costume makers and filmmakers and to get the collaborations going for this book. Yeah.
Absolutely. I find it easier to work when you collaborate, especially when you're working in areas that you're not familiar with. Like I'm really familiar with screenwriting, and to do a graphic novel was a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I mean, I could have learned how to do it, but it would have taken a while. So I hired the experts to do it, and I had a guy named Steve Stern who came aboard and helped me produce it. And all I had to do was just give him the vision that was in my mind or my mind's eye. And we worked with the artists and they brought it to life. So everything you see is out of, the imagination of Kevin E. Allison. And they did a great job with it. And I wouldn't green light it until it was perfect or exactly how I saw it in my imagination. So,
Yeah, and it
um,
must have taken many years because it looks like a lot of work to produce something like this. Yeah. Um,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a process. It's a process.
So, well, congratulations. And I'm going to look for Ailton in a minute and bring him over.
Okay.
And anything you'd like to tell our audience about the book and why they should get it, especially this holiday season. Now, I went on Amazon, but I didn't see it. So you can only get it from your website right now?
No, no, you should be able to get it from Amazon, and any other bookstore that,
Okay, I didn't know.
we're linked to. I think, let's see. I'm gonna go right now. But yeah, you can go to Dorrance.com also and get it directly from the publisher. And I think Barnes and Nobles and just any typical bookstore will have it.
Okay. So
And
there
you
you
can
have
get
it,
the
guys. Amazon, most of
Amazon.
us use Amazon, so they've
Yeah,
got their
it's there.
Bing and Prime Days, and this is a
Yeah,
perfect book to give any.
yeah. And
Um,
Kindle as well. You can do Kindle.
mhm. I get this question a lot from my single friends. What do I get
Okay.
my boyfriend or my man? This is the book to get for them.
That's the book.
You'd
It
not
is.
believe it,
It is.
but they're gonna love this. So Elton is over here, and so we
Okay.
have to slide over. But I'll stop
Okay.
this recording. You're watching Discover Bright Side with Elizabeth Clare Brewington, and we are so glad to launch the Gladiator Bolts with Kevin Allison. So we start.